Hi guys, in this video we're going to be looking at something called masks. It may be a concept you're aware of, it is used in lots of other programs. We're going to use those white and black values we talked about with the metal and roughness maps, but apply it to masks as well. So in the last video we looked at fill layers and we flooded this whole head here with red. Okay, but if I were to make another fill layer on top, you can see that this is actually covering up all of my red information here. So it's really annoying. I might want to only fill particular parts of the mesh. I might want to just paint the whole front of that circle, the front of that face there. And we can use masks for this. So, and this is the method that I highly recommend you use. I recommend that you do not use these normal layers here. I recommend you use fill layers and masks. So let's choose green because green complements red. So I'm going to set up this fill layer here as green. Okay, I am going to make the green really metallic and not very rough at all, so super shiny here, and that's going to give us contrast. So I am going to right click on this here and I'm going to add a black mask. And what this black mask does, you can see it there, is it hides everything here. So black means it hides. So I can now use a brush to paint onto this mask to make parts of it show. So again, let's just use one of these presets in here that is quite interesting. So let's use crystal. On here, so my brush is crystal now. You'll notice that there's a little blue kind of stroke around this here, and that is the mask there. So you can see that the properties over here are to do with the mask. They're not to do with the fill layer itself. If I want to do that, I just click on that. You can see that now gets the blue selection around it. I can then edit that, but we'll do that in a second. So what I want to do is I want to scroll down, and I'm looking for this grayscale value here. So I've got a black mask at the moment. So if I paint on this with white, you can see it starts to show through that green. So I'm painting with a value of white. That makes it show through. If I paint with a value of grey here now, let's just compare that. You can see it's a lot weaker. So it's kind of partially transparent. I don't tend to use opacity that much with these, but you can do. You could sort of blend stuff together, but I'd maybe do that more in my brush. So if I now use a value of black, now bear in mind we added a black mask now. If I go over this, you can see that it removes it. Okay, I'm just going to use a normal brush now. Hard. And go over that. You can see black removes parts. So white adds it into the mask, and then black will take it away. The reason this is so powerful is because now I can click on my layer and I can be like, actually, you know that thing there? It doesn't want to be that metal. I want to take the metalness of that down. And actually, I want to increase the height of that. So I want it to come out a little bit. And also that green, it's way too bright. Let's just take that down now. Okay, so it allows me to edit this on the fly, which is really good. If I did this with a layer, so let's do the same thing with a normal layer now, and let's find that crystal brush again. Okay, let's set up our properties on the side. Brush to go up. Where are my color settings? Where have they gone? Okay, I've turned them all off, haven't I? So where are they? There we go. I turned them off here earlier. So if I bring those all back, if I choose a green, let's find a green again. Okay, and a super metal and a not very rough, and just zoom out over here. So I'm now on a normal layer rather than a fill layer. If I paint this on and I decide I really like what I'm adding, but I want to change the color, I can't do that. Okay, it's impossible now. If I change this color to pink, and add it on again, it's adding it on as a new part. It's not as flexible as the other one. So let's just turn that off a second and let's just go back to our our fill layer again, our green one here, and you can see that even if you don't want it green at all, you can change it completely to blue. Okay, really flexible. I can change everything completely on the fly, which makes it way more useful. So I can now start to build a really sort of complicated material, a complicated texture for my model, and it's really flexible as well here. So I recommend that you never use these normal layers. We always use a fill layer. So let's look at how we do the body then. Let's do one really quick. So let's say we want him to have a yellow body with purple spots, and let's choose that there, choose that, yellow, and that's fine, to be honest, there. So let's make a new layer and let's choose our color again. So what you need to think about is the dots are the detail that I want to add. So I use my fill layer to choose my properties. So yep, there we go, a nice purple, that will do for me. I'm going to add that black mask on there. You'll notice you've got white mask as well. So if I had a white mask, I can start off with the whole thing flooded with white, and then I can paint with black detail to remove. You can see here. Okay, or if I add a black mask, it's just working the opposite way around. So now I would paint on with values of white to bring that through there, which is really good. So you can see that I'm putting my polka dots on here wherever I want them to be. I can go back to the layer and I can tweak that to be like, actually, you know, it's a bit bright. Let's take it down. Let's make those, the height just go down a little bit. Scroll down. So now those look like they're going inward, kind of. Make them come out. So they've got a bit of three-dimensionality to them there. So it's a lot more flexible. Now another thing that you can do is if I again click on that mask, I can use this tool over here, which is Polygon Fill. If I click on this, I can then select by either faces. So if I'm on my mask here, I'm filling with a color of white, and let's zoom in. I can fill particular squares.